Yes, Happy New Year and welcome back to Tautoro District, everybody. Now, before I get into things, I just want to cover something off here, and I want to put a big shout out to Sam, who made a comment on my last video saying, hey, you know you can sell bales down at Farm Source, and this is Farm Source right here. Now, I was pretty sure that in a previous video I'd actually tried to sell stuff down here and it didn't work, but I'm pretty sure now that it was operator error. It was my fault, because this definitely works. Down here in this particular drop-off point, you can sell straw bales, and over in this particular one, you can sell silage. So that gives a couple extra drop-off points, trigger points. And this one here, I think you can sell hay. I haven't tried, but I assume that's the odd one out, so that should be it. Now, that's going to be really important for me to be able to sell bales, because I'm about to make a heck of a lot of bales after I finish harvesting my wheat and my barley. Way more straw bales than I need for my animals, so to be able to sell them and produce just that a little bit more income is going to be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, hey, look, we're still in mid-autumn. We're only about another hour and a half game time since my last episode, or maybe slightly less than that, and I've harvested one entire field and I'm halfway through the second. And what I've realized is I'm going to probably get a lot more grain than I expected. So with that in mind, there's a few things I want to do. Now, I don't have enough income to do everything that I want to do in terms of buying new equipment. So I'm going to go cap in hand to the bank manager and ask him for a loan. But before we do that, we're going to just sell this trailer here. Let's get rid of that, because I'm going to upgrade. So there's three things that I need to buy. One is a new tipper, a bigger tipper. The second thing is a baler. And the third thing is a silo extension. But let's go ahead and buy the tipper first. And I'm going to grab, I actually need my truck. So, well, let's buy the baler first then. There we go. Let's think on our feet. We'll buy the baler first. Actually, before we do anything, we need more money. Lucky I know what I'm doing not. So if we just quickly flick through here, and you can actually borrow quite a significant amount of money. Now, all up, I'm going to need 291,000 to cover all of that. And I've got 45 grand in the back at the moment. So I'll just look to borrow, say, 300,000-ish. So we want to get it up to about 233. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. That's the total amount I can borrow, everybody, right there. It goes, there is a limit to what you can borrow. So that gives me 270,000 in the bank. So I'm going to have to be a little bit, use a little bit of creative accounting here. So what I will do is, let's buy the baler, because I'm definitely going to need that. Jump in here. And let's grab the baler. What I'll do is I'll go for the Coon. 1290D. Let's buy that. Bang. Yes. Okay. Done. Done and dusted. So we've got a baler, so I'll go and grab that. And it should just be sitting around the corner here. Decided to go for the red Coon just to match my nice red tractor. Oh, there we go. Outstanding driving once again. Okay, actually I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to go and get my truck. So, because we do need to, as you may have seen as I flick through the vehicles there, I've actually got my harvesters ready to give me a bit more grain. So we need to go and grab a new tipper. So I'll meet you back down at the shop in 2 seconds. Okay, here we are. We're down at the shop, and we need to get an upgraded tipper. So where are we? We're over here. Let's scroll across and grab the Flagel ASS 298. We'll select that. We'll buy that. Yes, let's purchase it. And we can fetch our purchase from around the corner. Let's jump back in the truck. That leaves us with 104,000. Not quite enough to get that silo extension, but I've got a couple of things up my sleeve to produce a bit more income. One of them is to sell the milk that I have there. Also got silage, a ton of silage that I can sell also, so plenty of opportunity to sell stuff. Anyway, I'll get back up to the farm and let's unload that combine. See you in a second. Alright, we're approaching the farm, and as you can see there, the first field has been completely harvested, with a lot of chaff sitting on the ground there waiting to be baled up into straw. I've got about 60,000 litres of wheat out of that field, which was good. I think I actually got a little bit more than that. I think I might have got 80,000 litres out of that field. It's a decent sized field, and wheat does yield a large amount. I'm not too sure with some of those other crops, the soybeans and the canola, whether I'm going to... Well, it certainly won't be yielding quite as much, but you do get a better price. The only thing... so really, the silo extension is probably mostly for the barley and wheat, which obviously I'll harvest a bit more. There we go, it did fit through the gate. I was a little bit worried about that, actually. Work our way up here. That's another field of wheat there in the background there, so definitely going to need extra storage. I could go ahead and just sell it all, but I thought I might as well store it and just wait until I really desperately need the money, or I can get an outstanding price. So that was really the thinking behind that. Now, from memory, I think this trailer is 40 or 41,000 litres, something like that. I'll just turn that off there. Let's go down and grab our baler. So I'm really happy. Oh, yep, I just saw a bit of wheel spin there for a second. I'm actually really happy that I can sell these bales because, like I said before, it's going to create a nice little income stream. And as you can see, just in the distance there is a lot of wheat just sitting, or chaff sitting on the ground, which means a ton of bales. And I'm only going to need, I don't know, I'll put plenty in storage just for my animals, for the cows actually, for their bedding and for making power food. But apart from that, I can sell the rest, so that's going to be a really good way of just producing a bit of income. One other consideration at the moment is time, and as you can see, it's 1:44 mid-autumn, so I've just got one more day after this to get all the fields harvested and get all the crops under cover before it starts, the weather starts to go a bit south. So that's one thing to think about too. So I'm probably going to work into the night myself, into the dark, just to make sure that we don't run out of time, because I don't want to use any workers after 6 PM at night, because basically it's an extra 50% on their wages. So here we go here. Alright, so we can leave that just here in the meantime. And the next thing I need to do then is I really would like to get that silo extension, because that trailer won't take too long to fill. So let's go and sell the milk in the meantime. I think that could be the way to go. So if we go and grab this tractor here, Case IH it is indeed, and once again I will meet you once I have got the milk tanker sorted, because let's go and sell our milk. I know there's a decent amount of money just sitting there, so I will be back once again very, very soon. Okay, we are on our second run of milk here. The first run netted us $21,600 as usual, which was fantastic. 30,000 litres of milk, and this is our second run, and that will just put us up to what, 143,000 there or thereabouts, 144 maybe, and that will give us enough money. We need $125,000 for our silo extension, so that will cover that quite nicely. Now I have racked up a total bank loan of $300,000. I am in the red big time. But the good news is I've got a lot of potential income with this harvest, also with my silage, selling bales, continuing to sell milk, all that sort of stuff. So it helps if I push the right button, Mace. It helps if I'm in the trigger too. Whoop. 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 What am I doing here? I haven't. There we go. We got it. Eventually, we got it. So, you know, I do have the ability to be able to pay that off as time goes by, and that's one thing I will be focusing on, is trying to get that bank loan right down again, because being at the absolute maximum of 300,000 gives you no wiggle room whatsoever should you need some quick cash. So I've got, like I said, I've got some silage up the hill which I can go ahead and sell the bales as we the extra bales that we're about to create, and also this harvest itself is going to produce, you know, a good return. But I just want to make the most of it. Let's have a look at the moment at some of the prices while we're waiting for that milk to unload. And I went the long way around. But as you can see, look, barley, it's high demand at the moment, so it's probably worth selling some of that once I get it. Soybeans too is high demand. Now, neither of these are great demand. The only great demand at the moment is wool, the spinnery. But I have only just sold my wool, so I have no extra to go and take advantage of that big price. So yeah, so I'll just might look at selling some of those, some of these crops here once I harvest them at the higher amount. I'll just have a think about it and just take a look at whether I really need to or not. Now, I just leased this milk tanker. Eventually I'll buy one, but it's a bit of a luxury item in the meantime, and it actually is really cheap. Man, it's getting dark, isn't it? This is autumn for you. So I will just return this over to the shop. There we go. Tuck that off like that. Yeah, you may have noticed that I had to go and swap my vehicle because I completely forgot that the truck was the only thing that could tow my milk tanker. So let's just zoom back up to the farm. But yeah, look, getting into a lot of debt like that is not really ideal. I could have done it slightly differently by just selling all my crops, but I really wanted to retain that income and try to get the best price I can, particularly because we're only harvesting once a year. So once every 12 game days, we get an opportunity to harvest and create some income through crops. So I really want to be able to take advantage of, at a minimum, the high demand, but in a perfect scenario, a great demand. Okay, what I need to do is just shoot up here because my harvester is telling me that it needs me to come and empty it. So we'll zoom in here. We'll just zoom across the crops. And I'll just quickly empty out this. It's good to be able to use this truck. It's got plenty of power. And it's nice and fast. Alright. Yeah, I've got 85,000 litres of wheat in my silo at the moment. So, yeah, with another whole field after this to do, it's not going to take long at all to fill that up. Okay, we'll let that run. And in the meantime, let's go and place our silo extension. Now, I actually haven't used the silo extension before. I'm pretty sure you just place it near your silos. I'd like to actually, I'm not too sure how big it is. Let's go and check it out. Get into the store. It should be a placeable. Oh, where are we? Silo extension. Here it is, the large silo extension, which gives you an additional 100,000, which is probably more than I need. I probably only need 50,000, but let's go for the large one, just to account for any future expansions. Okay, let's have a look here. It's actually quite skinny, isn't it? I remember now. Let's have a look here. I'm just looking to... I've forgotten the keys to move it. No, that moves it. Okay, I mean, ideally, I could just put it right in here, couldn't I? That could almost do the trick quite nicely, just sitting in amongst those. Let's push it in as far as we can go. Yeah, I think that's the trick. Let's go. Boom. Done and dusted. Out, out, out. Yeah, nice. I'm happy with that. Just sits nicely in amongst those silos. Sort of looks out of place a little bit. But that gives me an extra 100,000 litres of capacity. What's this guy doing? He's decided he doesn't like the shape of that, so I'm going to have to fix that. And so I've got some nice looking silos right there with some decent capacity. What I'll do is, before I sort this guy out, and I think I'll end the episode pretty soon, let's go and get our baler interaction and start getting some bales made. That gives me something to do in between having to empty out the harvester. Jump in our tractor, start it up. Now I assume it's extend it out, lower the pickup, turn it on, let's go. Should get a pretty decent yield out of this, I would imagine. And we are a bit desperate for straw. We literally have no straw whatsoever in storage. I used the entire lot. In fact, I used the last straw bale to test it down at the station. So when it worked, I was sort of like, oh yeah, it works. But then I was like, oh damn, I've got no straw whatsoever. The good news is we stocked up our animals completely. So they're looking good at the moment, so it's not desperate whatsoever. Here we go. First straw bale out of the coon. Here it goes. Nice. We should get, like I said, quite a number of bales. We've got 6 fields in total that will have chaff on the ground and will allow us to make these bales. But anyway, guys, hey, there it goes. Things are happening. We are in a mountain of debt, but we can get ourselves out of it. So I want to say a huge thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. It costs nothing at all except a little self-respect. And until next time, as always, take it easy.